start with. Oh yeah, you want to sit at the front? Right in the first row.
Come on up.
I was saying before.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so happy.
Test. Yeah, come on in.
All right, Goddess Gloria doesn't like to sit. All right.
Hello. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. You're going to meet an angel. Maybe. Thanks for coming. Ready? I know, you're so good that way. I'm so excited. Are they starting the camera there? I think we should record this. Where's our camera guy?
He's over there, isn't that?
Oh, is that, are we ready?
Oh my God, no one gave me, there's the microphone.
There.
Oh God, I forgot.
Oh,
Usually
all right.
they pin you up.
Well, they should record it. Let me see where
Oh my God, I hope I can do
the
this,
record. You
Alan.
can do it. You can do it. Let me just see what the
All right.
recording guy is.
Guys, we're going to start in a minute. Your speaker is out of her body. So, because they told me that the preferred way to teach about intuition is to get into a position of intuition and to really start by being aware of who's in the room, what we're doing, what the energy is, what the container is. And so I'm kind of right in that consciousness spot. I think they're waiting for has the camera been turned on yet?
Did you turn it on? Yes? Is it on?
Yes, because you don't want to miss the beginning of my talk.
And you don't want to miss the end of the talk either.
And you don't want to miss Alan raving about me and the things that we're doing.
We're all raving here.
Good.
Ready?
Let us know when we're ready to record.
Are we ready to record? Hello? Are we ready? Are you ready back there? Are you ready to blast off?
Is the camera ready?
Is the camera ready and rolling? We'll let you know. Oh, we're like racehorses at
there
the gate.
There he is. Okay. Woo!
Okay, ready.
All right, come on in, guys.
Okay, you
Trust
are
your intuition.
You are in store for a great, inspirational, beautiful, transcendent awakening here. Joan of Angels. Who has a name like that? You have to, really, you have to be a big person to walk through the world and say, I'm Joan of Angels, because she really is. She's inspiring, she's funny, she and I work the room together. You go into a room, we'll meet everyone in that room. We're both New Yorkers. So, but she has a lot to offer. You have been a mentor, a friend, an oracle, a real inspiration of wisdom, and that's why I'm so happy to introduce you, and so happy you're here with your energy to be at this expo and grace these people with your angelic presence. I mean, you've had a vision of these angels, and they came and they're working with her to wake people up, to make them have fun, to enjoy life, to know that we're all angels walking this planet. So everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Joan of Angels. Thank you.
That is amazing. Okay, that is amazing, Alan. And wait, before he leaves, I want to tell you that Alan and I are actually working together on a lot of things. We do a show whenever God tells us to do a show. Right. We do a show called Out of This World with Joan and Alan, which is pretty good, and we've had some wonderful presenters on it. But we also
we are also doing a couple of things around the planet in April 21st to 23rd. We're going to be in San Diego with Portal to Ascension. It's going to be a live conference with some of the world's best visionaries and leaders and spiritual leaders. JJ and Desiree Hertog, who's going to be there? Adam Apollo, Linda Moulton Howe is speaking here. It's a one shot at a time, so it's not like all these different rooms. We're going to hear these speakers. It's going to go deep, and it's going to be transformational. And what else do we have planned this year, Joan?
Oh, my God. We're then doing a conference in Glastonbury, UK, and we're calling our soul family, who are Druids and Merlinites and really ancient souls, to come with us there.
And then we are going to Egypt. We're leading a 10-day tour to Egypt, ancient initiations in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid and all up and down the Nile. Go to Egyptian Ascension retreats. We don't have any flyers, but Egyptian Ascension retreats. And that's 10 days, September 6th to the 16th. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to really be activated. And recapping the year, what do we have, Joan?
I don't know. We're here right now at the Conscious Life. Oh, gosh. We have the Crystal Skulls Conference in Sedona, Arizona. Who knows what a crystal skull is?
Yes. Oh.
Okay. Only one or two people? Okay, we'll talk about it during the talk. I'll tell you a little bit
These
about
are
crystal
real
skulls.
beings, though. And just talk about some of the comedy we've had dealing with the skulls and the skull keepers.
I will talk about it all. Listen, being an intuitive on the planet, guys, is an art form. It is not for the fearless. It is really for those who live in the moment and have to be unwired and wired as they disconnected.
I think this goes on you too there.
I think
You're good.
Okay, guys. I'm a professional speaker. You wouldn't even know it today. All right, but I am really long. Oh my God. A big stage for a long time. The COVID, it's really different when you're performing on a Zoom chat room, and you're going to try to take those huge, magnificent wings and try to fit them in a frame on Zoom, right? Wouldn't you think that? All right, so let's get started. I want everyone to stand up with me, okay? Good. I want everyone to stand up with me because I want to do a little invocation. We're here to talk about your intuition. We're here to talk about trusting your gut. Who here wants to actually trust your gut every time, right? Who here has ever suffered mortification when your gut tells you to go left, your logical mind tells you to go right, and you think you're going to die in the middle? It's like, oh my God, right? How do you make a decision? Is that right? Some of you want to learn about that too? Because that's the most common thing. We hear the voice from our divine, and it's so inspirational. It's like, yes, it's the right idea. And then someone comes along and says, what, are you crazy? Like, you're going to go to the right. Everyone goes to the right. Why are you going to the left? And there you are, left vulnerable. So today's class is going to give you some good tools to be centered in how powerful it is to be an intuitive person, how these skills were gifted to you when you came down here from the planet. When you volunteered eons ago to be here, a human on this planet, you did not come here naked. You came here with skills and talents and a soul plan and a mission, which is so exciting. I made you stand up to receive it, all right? So, yes, I'm an active speaker who needs to carry everything with me. All right, I may need help, guys. So, I want you to stand with me now. And I'll explain to you why we're doing this. I want to help connect you to the soles of your feet, to the bottom and center of the earth. And all the way with that antenna of yours, I want to tell you, you have this amazing antenna. All you have to do, that goes from your crown to the heavens. And don't you feel it as we're starting to talk? That this antenna is starting to vibrate. So Mother, Father, God, we ask right now that each and every one of us be surrounded and protected with our guides, with our angels, that we be filled with a direct access connection to our higher self, so that that wisdom, that information, those downloads come through directly to us. We ask that even our hands start to be like antennas, that our hair, that you touch that hair on your head, or wake up your skull if there's no hair. This is your antenna to the universe. Start to wake it up. I want you to wiggle your fingers now. And I want you to take that antenna and really seeing it go up to the celestial realms, the galaxies, wherever you want it to go, out of this world. So you can begin and understand that you're going to bring in wisdom, information from the divine, here specifically about who you are. We have a direct source to these realms that tunes us in, tunes us up, and no, and they actually have complete access to your soul plan. So wiggle those fingers and ask your heart and say, I want today to be able to receive communication from my higher self and my guides and have remembrance of my soul contract, and so it is. Now, while we're here, you might as well imagine those cords going down from the bottom of your feet, send them down, those roots rather, to the center of the earth, and let them sit there, and find yourself just going down into the center of the earth with me. And imagine us down in the center of the earth. We still have that antenna that's going up. Okay, now sit down. Phew! Who liked that process? Right? Man, I am. It's a good thing I really love myself. So I used to be very shy. And if I knew that I was going to be falling apart and redressing myself on the stage, I don't know. Can you hear me? This is not the best situation. Okay, not the best situation. Yes, and here I am coming out as a public speaker. You should be paying me for this. Okay, I'm going to hold it in my hand till someone rescues me. So let me tell you a little bit about what that means. About 10 years ago, when I was asking my guides for help, how many of you have ever asked for help? Okay, I was asking my guides for help, and they said to me, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And I said, well, what kind of help is that? You're supposed to help me. You're telling me to do something. And so they then said to me and repeated, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And I said, well, I don't do eyes or faces. So again, they said to me, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And I had that feeling that they were not going to ask me again. Do you ever have that feeling? That your guides are talking to you and talking to you, but if you say no, and if you resist it, they take it away. And I had that experience years ago when I went to a psychic, and the psychic said to me, Joan, you were supposed to be famous already. Did you know that? And I really, it's like, I was heartbroken that someone saw it. It's like, what? It's in my hand, it's in my palm. And I knew that had happened because I was afraid to say yes to that call. So that flashed in front of my mind that I hadn't said yes, and now this psychic who doesn't even know me, palm reader, says you were supposed to be famous and you blew it. I paid attention. And so I want you to start to pay attention today. That's what we're about, is paying attention to the messages of communication that we're getting so that we can be effective in what we're here to do and do the work we came here to do. That's what my work is about helping people remember who they are and why they're here. So let's get started on this. I prepared a little presentation. Yes, that we're going to talk about how to embody all that we are. We came down here with soul contracts, guys. You agreed to be a volunteer down here, and you came down here with a clipboard. I like to tell everyone you came down here with a clipboard. What was on that clipboard? All the skills that you have, all the talents you have, everything that you needed to succeed at your mission. So all of you who are in this room, I want you to know something. Whatever you came down here to do, and a lot of it is just about carrying this light, they knew you would succeed at it. So I hope that already makes you feel better. But on that clipboard is what you're particularly good at. Now, sometimes I give classes on what you're here to do in your soul mission. Today I'm giving a class on how you access that soul mission by trusting and learning your intuition. So we want to unlock our full potential to do what we came here to do. So if you had a soul mission and a purpose and a vision, does anyone here have a vision of who they are or what they could do this life or what it would be like to really know what you're here to do? Because that's the juice of life, is living a meaningful life where you are who you think you are, where you're doing things that bring you joy. Literally joy. And how do I say this? This is 2023. Things have not been so fantastic on planet Earth the last 3 years. I never thought I would say that. But it is an opportunity for each and every one of us, and I include myself, in remembering why we're here. Because I had to ask my own guys, like, what did you place me down here for? This is kind of frosty. It's not looking so good around here. And they reminded me I came here for a mission to wake up all of you light beings. You all came down here for a mission to remember who you are and to say yes. Because you are the leaders. You are the people that have these skills. You just need to remember. So this is my job. I have been working with people for over 40 years, teaching them how to be aligned, body, mind, and spirit. I'm a chiropractor. That's how I began. I've opened my hands and my energy to send energy, to awaken people. Some of you in the audience might be able to feel it as we work with this energy. You have this ability. I love teaching, love healing. All right? So, one of the most interesting things is that I don't have an actual physical practice anymore, but I do more spiritual chiropractic, spiritual alignments for people. But what was funny is every day in my chiropractic office, after I adjusted people, and I adjusted like their cervical spine where you connect to the angelic realms right here, but I would adjust them and then I'd say, power on. We just turned your power on. Well, about 3 years ago, I realized that in my readings and my presentations, that's what I do. I turn your power on. We need our power turned on. We need our vitality, our vital force, not just for our daily living, but to handle the chaos that's ensuing. We need to be able to, just like I had you stand like this, we need to be able to stand firmly in one place, hold that space and energy, even if the planet itself is confused and the people around us confused. It's like instead of being Chicken Little and going around and saying the sky is falling, we stand and we hold our space. Even if we don't know what's going on, we do know how to send roots down to the earth and your antennas up to the heaven. I just taught you that, okay? So we're going to determine today your intuition style. And by the way, on my website, which just relaunched this morning, hopefully the intuition classes I teach are also the really in-depth ones are on the website, joanofangels.com. I think I didn't get a chance to check if they were on them. So what we're going to look at today is how you receive information. We all receive information different. So you might say to someone, I'm intuitive, and the other person has a different idea of intuitive. Maybe you're thinking, I'm an empath, I feel other people's feelings, but the person you're talking to sees things. Or the other person is a feeler, kinesthetic. So we're going to learn how you do you. Does that make sense? Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. If you have a notebook, you might want to take notes. The video is going to be available tomorrow. I'm going to get a copy too so I can know what I said to you. But you're going to want to repeat this. Oh, yes, and I just got the book up on Amazon yesterday. So if you got the handout, the book that goes, if you got the handout, the book that goes with this presentation is just hopped on Amazon. I was so proud of myself, guys. Okay.
Congratulations.
Now, right?
What's it called? What's it called?
What's it called? It's on the flyer. I had a lot of different titles. It's on that flyer. I'm sure of it. Okay. Someone will grab the flyer. Oh, she's handing it out. Good. All right. So we got that out of the way. Yes. Now, one of the things is this about your logical mind. You'll probably agree with me. Your friends, your family, your boss usually represent your logical mind. There's a tried and true way. We always do it A, B, C, D. And you come along and you have a download in your head that you know that throughout the tried and true method, I know what I know. Intuition is knowing what we know is true. And it is an amazing feeling. Has anyone in this room ever experienced, maybe, sweetheart, we can put you in the back for a few minutes. Stand up with her and do that. I know that she'll feel better. Okay. See, she quieted down as soon as I talked to her. What's her name?
Oh, it's Henry.
Henry. Okay. Oh, I love that name, Henry. Okay. So the gift of knowing is very powerful. So when we had the earthquakes a few years ago in Fukushima, I knew that it would take forever to clean it up, and I knew it was a mess, but the newspapers were reporting that they were cleaning it up. And I remember having a discussion with someone saying, I know that it's not clean. And it's like, well, the newspapers are reporting that, and who are you to know better than the media or the government, right? But I knew that I knew that I knew. How do I know this? Well, I've learned by experience. We're going to get to the next slide in a minute, but we're going to talk about now, we're going to call this your intuitive toolkit. The goal is to differentiate between your gut and your logical mind and to strengthen these skills. What is intuition? I'm going to define it as the power, that ability that has you knowing everything without that logical mind or without a notebook, without the doctor, teacher, Indian chief telling you it's so. You know that it's so because you know it's so. The way to handle the unfolding and what is going on as we go from the old earth to the new earth is to know it in your heart. There's not going to be any book, any science or research that's really going to be any better than your own connection. So we are talking about how you know it, how you even may have a sense of what will happen. We're going to track that for you. So you're going to learn today which path is the right path for you. So the first thing that I like to look at, and this is really important, what happens when you listen to your intuition? And notice it's set up like a notebook journal, right? Because every day you have a chance to hear your intuition. Guys, some of you can come up front if you need to hear better. Every day you guys have a chance to listen to your intuition. You know, you might go, oh, this morning I'm going to turn left instead of right. That might be an intuitive flash. And then you say, oh, but left is going to be too long. And so you go right because logically that makes sense. It's shorter, and then you're in traffic for 2 hours. And then you go, oh, I should have listened to myself. Am I the only person that ever says I should have listened to myself? That's the first key, and it's a key that you're in the right room if you've been saying that. Because when we're doing that, what we're really saying is, gosh, I really knew the answer was this, but I chose the other answer and I ignored my voice. So the first thing I want you to know is that you've inadvertently been ignoring the voice because you think someone else's voice was smarter than your voice. No longer. You are the soul guide and the soul connector. What we did when we started, we're connecting earth to the heavens so you can have direct information, and all you need is confidence in your ability to be who you are. So, I had to, because I had so many times when I said I should have listened to myself. You can imagine when that fortune teller told me I blew it, how we beat ourselves up for not listening. I finally committed to listening to my intuition. It was a day in 2008, I think it was. It was in a horrible week of terrible rains up in Northern California. And it rained and rained and rained, and it was spring break, and I had promised my kids to take them and their friends to Disneyland. So I set my alarm for 4:15 in the morning, and fortunately or unfortunately, it was the very day of the week that I had promised that whenever I got an intuitive hit, I was going to listen. So I had promised myself I would listen to my intuition the next time it said something, right? It's 4:15 in the morning. I'm going to get my kids up and their friends, ready to go. And I said, I'm going to just ask my pendulum if this is a good idea. My pendulum said no. 4:15 in the morning. Okay, go back to bed. 5 o'clock, the pendulum says no. So I start going, well, will I get in an accident? And I couldn't even guess the right thing. But I only knew that I had promised that I was finally going to say, forget the logic. Because honestly, my kids woke up at 6, start yelling and banging on their mom, why aren't we in the car going down to Disneyland? And I'm trying to tell I don't remember how old they are, that my pendulum told us we can't go. This is a true story. It was not a happy morning at my house, and I promised them the next day and made them French toast and waffles, whatever you do to make kids happy. And 2 o'clock comes, and I'm still asking my pendulum what is going on, and I go outside. It's been raining cats and dogs. I go to my backyard. I look, and my retaining walls are, instead of being straight, holding the pillow, they're like this, ready to collapse. The other side of the hill at the top is my neighbor's house, looming quite threateningly. So I had an aha moment. It was like, holy moly, I cursed, I said a few bad words, holy moly, no wonder I wasn't allowed to go. And it was on the day that I had promised myself I would trust my intuition. That same mudslide, by the way, I was fortunate because I was able to get a crew to the house for 2 days, 48 hours straight. They worked to hold up that retaining wall. Down a few miles down the road, this guy went out to look at his yard, and he wasn't as lucky as me, and he died. The mud came tumbling. That was when I had that powerful gut feeling, and how my gut has saved my life in countless situations. But my logical mind is not clear. This is a very simple assignment. You do it, ladies, or your tools to paper, notebook. When I listen and when I don't. When you start to look at when you don't, you'll be shocked. You will be appalled. Tax returns. Okay? They told me do not put your tax returns. I just left my account. I ignored my intuition. I heard a voice come out of the account with these tax returns in mind. 2012, 2015 rather, and I hear a voice that says, "Do not put your tax return in the trunk." And I went, what? I literally, what? And I heard the voice said, the trunk will blow open and they'll blow away. And I said, that is crazy. Forget it. And I drove away. Tax returns in trunk. Long, short of it, I had to stop short. Trunk opened up. Tax returns flew everywhere. And a few days later, someone from the LA Public Works Department said, oh, I have your daughter's tax return, and proceeded to tell me her Social Security number. I'm telling you this because I bet if you sat down later and you said, I'm going to do a journal, and journal all the times I didn't listen and all the times I did, you'll be in for a great surprise. And that's the actual true beginning of your true training of what to do. I want you to be aware that our body is extraordinary. In fact, all of you rub your hands together right now, as fast as you can, and then feel that energy between your hands. Do you feel that? Okay, that energy is the energy of healing. They call it in the old ancient terms ether. This ether carries our thoughts. It carries actually our thoughts Some people can see your thoughts as if it's like a little sign up there. They know what you're thinking. Your thoughts are real. Your concepts, even your words are real in this universe. Your fingers, when you go like this, that if we were waving, if we did all this and we took our hands like this, we feel that energy. I can send it to you to feel that energy. We all have that ability. Our hair is the seat of our intuition. And pay attention to our hair. I'm not saying that. Native Americans, Native Americans, that their trappers would send them off to Vietnam, or send them to tunnels to bury out in Vietnam, because they had heard that the Native American Indians were the best trappers. So they are. So the military, of course, rapidly took them, asked the chiefs to send them their best trackers, and took them out into the tunnels. What does the military do to your hair when you first go to the military, right? You can see all that beautiful hair on the floor. So the military goes back to the chiefs and said, well, you know, they were pretty angry. We demand an explanation. And the chiefs said that their powers of their intuition is in their hair. It's not just in the hair on your head, by the way, if you don't have hair. It's also right here. Your hair stands up when danger is there. Or your hair stands up when you have an aha moment and you have like chills in your body. They go back to the military, they go back to the Native Americans and they find out that the power's in the hair. The next batch of inductees then that came from the tribes, they took half, shaved their head, and sent the other half without unshaved heads. Right, with their full head of hair. They then discovered that all of the ones who they had shaved the hair off had less chance of survival than the typical military person there. So that tells you something. Finally, the military got wise. I want you to really be aware that every part of your body is very, very powerful. This is a little bit more about me, Joan of Angels, and yes, did I ever think that I'd be up here introducing myself as Joan of Angels with big wings? No. Thank God I didn't listen to anyone who said, what are you, crazy? You know, we don't do that in our family. We don't have people stand up and say they're angels. One knows that when you begin to listen to who you are and remove these blocks, which could be people, places, or things, what blocks your intuition? Remember, I said I want you to walk away really being aware of how you block it. Other people's opinions are some of the biggest things. Fear. What if I stood up and said I'm Joan of Angels and they all just laughed or something? Fear. You can do it. Our worries shut us down. I know that when I have something on my mind and I become obsessed, I cannot think of anything else. I have a one-track mind. It's great if it's one track on radio frequency. Not so great if I'm stuck in repeated cycle of not feeling good about yourself. When we feel good about ourselves, then we open up that connection with Source. So it's easier to bring the information through. We also learn to trust our gut. One thing I learned, I had a dear friend who was an Aztec Indian, and he was dying. And I said, well, how will you be able to help me? How will I know it's you from the other side? And he told me two things. The first thing he said is, well, your stomach will hurt. When you feel intense, agonizing pain in your gut, you will know not to go there. That's a warning sign of danger. And shortly after he died, I had gotten involved in an investment deal where I had given $50,000, and it was it got out of control, and I started getting stomach pains. I didn't want to listen because I'd have to call the mortgage people and then get my money back and take a stand, and oh my God, I was so shy. The pain got worse and worse and worse. Unbelievable. And then I heard him talking to me. I was like, well, don't you remember? We talked about this. When you get that pain in your stomach, it's a sign that whatever you are contemplating is not a good idea. Repeat after me. When my stomach hurts over and over and over again, and I'm worrying about a problem, most likely it's because my gut knows it is not a good idea. Other things that block your intuition is when you place the master above you as if someone else knows more than you. I can't even tell you how many decisions I made because someone else told me. I was very shy. I didn't know how to say no. If you told me it was good, then I would do it. That got me in a lot of trouble. We're going to get to the art of discernment. I want you to then journal what blocks me. Because this is about you learning what your ninja superpowers are. These are some of the clair, sentience, the clair gifts. There's others beyond this, but I think we're going to do a lot of this today. I call it my ninja superpowers. When you begin and you create this little book, that's why you should get that ebook, it has that in it, but you want to be powerful in how you're using your gifts. You're not just clairaudient, and every clairaudient has a different skill. Not all of us clairaudients hear the same way either. And what I used to do is hear other people's experience and be sure that they were better than me because their experience was so different than mine. What I had to learn ultimately was what my own skills are. Would you like to learn that?
Yes.
Right? Okay, that's why we're here. And I call them ninja superpowers because the day okay, I guarantee this, like 6 months, I can hear it now. You're in a situation where you're forced to make a decision between your gut and your logic, and you will hear in your head exactly what I said. You're going to make the right decision from your gut, and then you're going to call me and say, Joan, you were so right. I felt like a ninja because it was like so easy. I just said yes. There's different intuition styles. You could be visual. You can hear it through your ears, which is one of my gifts. You can, auditory and hearing. I don't know why they break that down. I think that's really the same thing. If you're auditory, you're going to hear. But there is a vibration that people can feel in the auditory realms as well. The gift of smell is quite incredible. A lot of forensic intuitives have that gift of smell. Empath. am now the what do you call it, the casting director for this film. And we have a role perfect for you as this homeless woman who talks to angels. Are you in? Now, what you don't know about me is that I have been homeless. I have lost everything, and unfortunately I lost everything twice. I mean, once is good enough for most people. I had to do it a second time. So my guide said to me, Joan, you will not have money again until you learn how to be aligned 100% with your purpose and mission. You think you have it bad, guys. You know, it's like being aligned with who we are is what we came here to do. All right. I like this little slide, your ears. So some people might feel their clairaudience is tingling around their ears. You might wake up in the middle of the night. You might hear a song that repeats something over and over again. I see angel signs wherever I go. Well, that's visual, but or you might even hear this song like that's like we're here for you, like with weird words as if it's answering your questions. I have also heard the Hallelujah chorus several times. When you hear the Hallelujah chorus, it does get your attention in a very, very big way. Okay, are you claircognizant? Is anyone in this room claircognizant, if you know what it means? All right, good. Claircognizant is knowing because you know, because you know, because you know, and there's no doubt about it. You don't need anyone to confirm it. You know if it's good or bad. The only problem you have is trusting that you actually know what you know. The day you begin to know that you're brilliant, when you take off the covers and the cloak that's covering you and you realize you're brilliant and you say yes to it, everything will come flooding in and you'll go, you know, I am right. My gut is always right. Repeat after me, my gut is always right.
My gut is always right.
No, my gut is always right.
My gut is always right.
Thank you very much. Okay. People who have claircognizant have perfect timing. Their timing is orchestrated by the heavens. Oh, I think the microphone is on. All right. Yes, we're here. We're present. You might hear random messages, by the way, with instructions. Any of you wake up in the middle of the night with an instruction to do something? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, going to the bathroom sometimes is a good time to wake up, or showers. I hear a lot of messages in the shower. I call it the shower of miracle power. And when I am in the shower, I use it as an opportunity to release anything that doesn't serve. And then often brilliant ideas come through. So who's brilliant, guys? You are brilliant. You are here because you're brilliant. You're here because you're like diamonds that just need to be shined up. And when we shine it up, and get this, every speaker who's here also had to get shined up in some way, shape, or form. You know, we're all teaching at different levels of what we learn. I feel that when I teach and I help you step into your brilliance, you will turn around and be brilliant, stepping into yours. You'll do the work you came here to do, and together we can heal millions and billions across this planet. We can wake up that consciousness. Yeah.
Do you want questions at the end, or can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can ask a question right now, but then we're not going to take others.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Sorry, everybody.
No, I think it might be a good question. That's why.
Would claircognizant be like when I do Reiki, I know to move my hands in a different area, and I find they say, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Because I was guided to."
Yes.
And they said, "Because," and then they always tell me why.
Yes. And so what happens is if you didn't listen to that guidance, you'd be stuck, you'd be doing something from an old concept of just, you have to do each chakra this way or that long, so you're being intuitively guided, when your guides tell you that. Makes you a better Reiki master. Absolutely. So let it sink in, guys. Your hunches are always right. Your hunches. I can't even tell you how much money I didn't make because I didn't listen to my gut, right? But I can tell you that I saved myself money because first of all, I was able to get out of that $50,000 deal and get my money back. But a year ago, a dear friend of mine came to me with a great deal. that was going to ensure a $4,000 a month residual income, just having invested this very little, it was a little bit of money. But you would end up signing a contract for $1 million, a loan, basically. But it looked good on paper. And all of these star seeds and light workers are getting all excited because most of us don't make a lot of money. So this is like God's talking, sending you $4,000 a month. Wouldn't you sign up for that? Like, it's too good to be true. Well, I struggled with it because I wanted that to be true. I wanted $4,000 a month, I was like, yeah, let's just take income from the universe, prosperity, and do all this. But my other side knew better, because years before I had fallen for that and I had to pay back a lot of money. They call it clawback, because when someone goes bankrupt or they take down that company, you have to pay back every penny. I said no. It was very hard for me to say no. I said no because I did those papers that I told you to do. I had a long list of when my intuition was right. And when I didn't listen, I had a very long list of the pain I suffered. And on that list was that loss of money from that too good to be true deal. And I had all the same feelings as the too good. This was it. It was the same feelings. That's how you know. When you had a situation and you get the same feeling in your body, it's because it's the same thing being another test. It's another test. So now God comes, Source comes. Did you learn your lesson, Joan? And I said no. It was really painful for me to say no. I sat back and watched the Telegram group for a long time, getting confirmation that my no was the right answer. But these are the things, it's like your hunches know, that gut that screams at you that says, don't do it. A lot of women, this is true, being in relationships with the wrong person, even though your gut told you not to. We're not going to say anything about that today, but I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation where I went into this relationship and I had this wonderful psychic, and I would go to her every week and she'd say, do not get involved with this person. Do not give him any money. And she was really clear. What did I do? I'd go back every week. Of course I got in that relationship. Of course I gave him money. And I lost up to $500,000. But what I knew was that I knew that she was right. I knew that that was not the right relationship. It was the wrong frequency. I was going to try to do it. I knew I had to shut off my power in order to be with him. I didn't listen. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, my list of when I didn't listen was big enough to teach me how to do it. And I believe in sharing my experiences, because I was told that my experiences on all these levels actually will help all of you learn. And maybe how a parent says, well, don't I learn the hard way, you shouldn't, and then the kids don't listen. And then years later they go, I should have listened to you, Mom. But it's the same thing. All right, so we're going to go back now to Claire. Sentient, is this helping you get a little clarity?
Yes.
And you're helping to see who you are and because you don't have all of these. I don't have all of these. I know that I have some good skills, and I work to get confirmation that I'm in the right place. Like sometimes I'll do a presentation and I'll make you raise your hand. Just like I'll say, I want to make sure I'm in the right room. That we're all here together to understand that your gut is your best gift, your hunches. The hardest thing is that learning that you could say no to everyone else. I had to do it a few months ago. I left my home. I've been living in the desert for 7 years, out in Desert Hot Springs. My guides had told me that you have to move to the desert so you can learn to hear better, because there's less distraction. I moved to the desert. I hardly left my house because I don't see at night, and it's long distances and it's dark, black. And it was an interesting time, but I did learn to talk to my guides, but then I knew I had to leave. And I don't even know why I'm telling you this story, but I uprooted my entire life, and I put everything in storage because my guides told me that there's a new energy and a new future, and I had to let go of everything and trust the process and don't look like that. I'm taking tours to Egypt and the UK and Glastonbury and doing conferences in Sedona, so I'm sure that it's going to have a wonderful outcome. I don't know why I went down that track. But what I'm saying is that we're in, I guess I do know, we cannot stay tied to the old way of doing things because we're in uncertain times. And I use the word uncertain. Uncertain because a lot is happening behind the scenes on every area of existence in our life. And I don't think they'll ever be normal again, which is hard to say. But what I do know is that those of you who begin to remember that you're here for a reason and go, I know how to do this, I have these skills, I am who I am because I am me, and you build up your inner strength, you're the ones who are going to thrive and be the leaders of the new earth. Your gifts, your healing, it's people like us, the intuitives. Those logical, scientific minds have lost control. That's all I want you to know. As a chiropractor, I learned the following. Science knew nothing about chiropractic because science was designed by researchers and pharmaceutical companies and the medical field. The people who knew chiropractic worked, where the patient worked, was the patients themselves. Evidential. So your gut, your intuition is evidential. You ask people, like I learned in those readings that I was accurate. I could not believe it. I had a hard time believing it because then I'm thinking, oh, anyone would have known that their dad died and their mother's lover. Anyone could have known that, but that's not true. One way you know you're intuitive, by the way, is crowds. Anyone here find it difficult to be in crowds?
Not this crowd, though.
Not this. We'll reframe this. Yes, not this crowd. But usually in general, I find it very difficult to be out in public for long periods of time. Going to the supermarket, when you walk in the supermarket, guys, if you are clairsentient or claircognate or an empath, you could pick up the fight that the last couple had. You might walk in and go, oh God, it feels so weird here. Well, you don't know what happened and who was arguing with who in that spot. And we're literal antennas for other people's crap, their emotional baggage. So it is good to recognize that when you go out in public, you protect and shield your energy, and then you ground and you can cleanse your field. I have a good process I learned during the pandemic. In the pandemic, we went out with a mask. I hated that mask. And I coped with it by humming. I don't know, I was doing some show and someone commented on it, humming. I started humming in the supermarket under my mask. Oh, that's even better, look. Okay, so I started humming, and I realized that the humming, first of all, I was sure that the humming would make sure that no virus could come in my lungs. I was convinced because my humming was like, but actually it grounds you. I'm going to suggest trying humming for being in crowds and also for restoring your energy. So again, clairsentient are super sensitive and they sense what other people are thinking or feeling. Anyone in this room super sensitive? You can feel other people's energies? Like walk in the room and I should leave. I don't belong here. Not a good thing. Yes, and wouldn't it have been nice if you knew not to go there in the first place? Congratulations and kudos on knowing to leave, but it would be nice to know not to go, and we'll get to that. I have a scale here. Yeah.
I don't want to be rude because you're so wonderful, and you're so you present your vulnerability. But there's another lecture that starts in 3 minutes, so I just don't want to. What?
Oh, well, go for it, sweetheart.
So I'm sorry, but thank you so much.
Oh, that's very sweet. That's very sweet. You're allowed to leave. You have permission. And I promise you, in 20 years, we'll be bilocating, and that'll solve the problem. right? I get it, guys. I see some lectures and I'm going, gosh, I'm going to be talking and I can't go hear them. Or there's two people that I like on at the same time. Guess what?
Yes.
You can also buy the recording. Not mine so much, but because I think I ripped away my speaker. All right, well, now we have the gift of clairsentience. That we've been talking, they merge together, but you get it through your body, you feel it. That sense of dread when you know it's a bad outcome, a wrenching in your gut, you just can't get it feeling. Those aren't those trees amazing as they come through, and you feel the presence of energies and the tree people, the earth and rock people, the mountain people, the stone people. All of these beings also have an energetic resonance that when you calm down, you can hear. All right. Okay, we make room for more energy coming in the room. Okay, are you clairvoyant? And clairvoyant, so I know some clairvoyants who could tell you what you had for breakfast. I'm not sure why that's so important, but they could tell you what you had for breakfast. I am not a clairvoyant. When I do readings for people, I'm really clear. I can't see your future. However, I can intuit certain things that if you take this path, what could happen, but I don't get it it's not as direct when I use my intuition. But so clairvoyant people can literally sometimes see, and they're the ones to go to if you want to know, if you want to solve a crime, say, for sure. Clairvoyants may have frequent dreams, see auras and energy. Now, okay, but I'm telling you I'm not clairvoyant, but I'm actually good at fitting puzzle pieces together. That's why I'm telling you to look at these skills and determine which one are your skills. I'm really great at putting pieces together, and I had a psychic reading a few years ago, and the guy said to me that I was a great collaborator, and I had not collaborated with anyone until then. And I discovered when I'm in a team that I always manage to see what's missing. It's like the missing ingredient. That's one of my superpowers in a team. But I say, what is your superpower? So clairvoyant people can fit that together. They can even do numbers and details. I can't do numbers in my head. Very well. I used to, but I can't now. So there you have it. And I don't have a good sense of direction. Ever since GPS came out, my sense of direction was turned off. And isn't that interesting? I'm not the only one. If I had to drive to my sister's house, I actually am not sure I even know the names of all the roads I would turn because it is convoluted. And I relied on the GPS. One thing to challenge yourself is to try driving without your GPS a few times to a place you ordinarily go to test yourself and your memory of where you are. Because again, it's great we have GPS for people like me, but wouldn't it be nice if your own inner GPS was turned on and you knew how to get to where you're going? Yes, of course, I'll answer it for you. Yes, we all want to know that. I like this one. For clairvoyant, now I've had some experiences. Okay, so here I said I'm not clairvoyant, now I'm telling you other experiences that I might have had that were kind of on the clairvoyant side. I remember one night just sitting there, and it was like looking at a projector screen. I had this weird vision, and I was looking at a TV, and I got this voice that said, well, you could see with your inner eye if you look on a television. And sure enough, in that particular experience, I actually could see it with my inner eye as if it was on a television. And I know that there are people who even teach how you can do that with that inner eye. Clairvoyants see angels and departed loved ones, and I do see angels. Okay, now I must not have read this for a long time. But I do see angels occasionally, not all the time, but I see them with my inner eye. Anyone here see them with their inner eye? One person over here, one person over here. Anyone here ever have any visions of ships, spaceships, or any visions like that you might have seen in ET or something weird? Raise your hand like this so I can really see it. More people confessing to that. Good. And I say confessing, and that's not the right word, but some people don't like to acknowledge that they've had those kinds of experiences and that it takes a while to realize that you've had these encounters. The US government knows, and I think this is great, that people who have had extraterrestrial contact have more telepathy, more psychic skills, are more empathic. It increases your intuitive gifts. Isn't that interesting? Yes, and the government knows that. I don't think I was this intuitive growing up. I think that as I started to have ET contact in my life and angelic contact, my gifts grew. Because I said, thank you, bring me more. Thank you, bring me more. Yeah.
And they go down the path of being healers too.
Yes, and they go down the path of being healers. These intuitive gifts, these clairvoyant gifts are in your soul. You'll do them. You know, I remember years ago when I stopped practicing chiropractic, which was my love, and I started doing readings for people. And I did readings, and I realized that the healing, I would do that whether people paid me or not. That's how much I love doing readings for people and seeing people get well. But with the readings, for a long, long time, first of all, I thought I was good at it because I knew the people. It was my sister or my friend, so I thought that I was good at it because, oh yeah, I know them, that's why. But then I had to push myself to practice, and get confirmation. Again, one of the most important things you can do in this art of intuition is get confirmation. And you get confirmation by keeping that journal of when I listen and when I don't. That always gives you confirmation, because less than a week into it, you're going to have a huge awakening about your own self. You'll go, oh gosh, my guides have been trying to talk to me for a long time. Yeah, we're not new to this conversation. I wasn't in it. I wasn't listening. Once you start listening, they'll give you more information. When they told me to paint 33 angels in 30 days, and I finally said yes, because I knew that if I didn't say yes, they wouldn't ask me again, and then that whole part of my life that could have been a miracle, I would have said no to. I mean, I got all that thought at one time, like, uh-oh, maybe I should listen this time. But I asked, well, what am I going to do with 33 paintings of oil paints on the floor upstairs in the what became the angel loft? And they wouldn't tell me. What I got was, when you complete your task, we'll give you more. Well, I want you to take that in. When you actually listen to what they tell you to do, they'll give you more. If you aren't listening, they won't. It's as simple as that. 2020, June of 2020, I started to get a little depressed. I made myself depressed. It was like I was looking around going, well, you just can't feel happy with all of this. You should have something happening to you and feel weird. I felt a little weird about feeling weird. And one day, and I was telling people that I'm Joan of Angels. I was kind of laughing about it. It was like, I'm the only Joan of Angels on the planet. Isn't that funny? Meanwhile, I'm not doing my work energetically. I'm feeling weird, feeling like I should be feeling weird. And I hear that voice. Clairaudient, clairsentient, I heard it. And it said, Joan. I knew it was a team. Joan, are you there? We have a message for you. What's the message? Well, remember, we told you that to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose? I said, well, well, if you don't want to do this job that you came down here specifically to do, don't worry, we have thousands of people ready to take your place, ready to do what they agreed to do. Now, does Spirit threaten you, your angel said? No, it wasn't a threat. It was a reminder that I had made an agreement to come down and do this. If I wanted the pleasure of who I am, then I needed to be who I am. It was my gift. It was for me to step up and claim it. Didn't matter that Alan introduces me as Joan of Angels. If I don't come out here as Joan of Angels, I would leave too, I would leave the room. It's about claiming what you're hearing and then being authentically you. And that's what happened in the summer of 2020. I got that message. And it changed my whole life. It's as if it turned on a switch for me that said, time, it's go time. Now, my hope from this presentation and from this weekend is that you have a feeling of it's go time for me, that I have gifts to share. I'm ready to share them. I'm not going to stay in the closet anymore. I'm actually going to listen and do it. Another turning point for me was when I was severely suicidal many years ago. And I was sitting outside the Golden Gate Bridge because that was my fallback position. Oh yeah, you screwed up, you can leave. I had 2 kids though. I'm sitting at the Golden Gate Bridge in this quandary because I'm afraid of heights. Just walking on the bridge probably would have killed me, right? And I'm having this discussion, and I find myself talking to my angels. 12 of them, I was in the center. And here I was saying to them, it's like, oh, Joan, how would you rate your life? And I was trying to say to them, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do what I came here to do. Planet Earth was too hard. It was too difficult. I just couldn't do it. And I'm sitting in the car, tears are coming down my eyes, and I'm confessing to the fact that I had failed at what my soul mission was. And then I saw a room of millions of souls whose lives were not touched by mine, who maybe didn't get that extra burst of energy to step into their power, because they had had a soul agreement with me that I would help wake them up. And here I reneged, right? I reneged. They showed all of this to me in a flash. It's not just us, it's the souls we touch. And it's the souls and family and friends that have little activation triggers that when they meet you, certain things are going to happen. And maybe they'll wake up, and maybe they'll remember, and maybe they'll be a better person, or their gifts will come back. So we have agreements, not just with ourselves to be great people, but that when we become great people, it will help in these ways. And that's the service to others concept. You only need to be 51% service to others, but we are in this fishbowl. When we raise our frequency, then we raise the frequency of the people around us. I mean, come on, did I depress you when you walked in and I raised your energy? Right? We have that ability that when we are the light, and our major mission on the planet, they showed me, was just to be a light being. Not to worry about what I did, because that's the doing. Worry about the frequency that I was carrying, and they showed me that I'm here to raise people's vibration and frequency. I didn't know what the heck they were talking about, because I was severely depressed, and happy to be depressed. Anyway, that night I walked away from the bridge, and I've never looked back, because I know that I'm here for a great mission. I may want to hide in the closet occasionally, but no, I'm here to help others and help us all see and trust what they're seeing.
Thank you. That was a very powerful insight and message, just to remind us that we also have soul contracts with others. And so if we're scared to take leadership, which happens to be the case, is I have contracts with others. That's very powerful. Thank you for reminding
Oh my God. Okay, so as you're saying that, my whole body's starting to tremble. I have chills, because I bet this is true for many of us. How do we really claim that we're powerful without being egotistical, or with other people going, who do you think you are? Now, I have heard that a lot. Right, I'm Joan of Angels. And you are who you are. It's a big process of removing. What's happened for centuries is that people like us were shamed. We were humiliated. We were tarred and feathered. We lost our life. We lost our head. We were burned at the stake for knowing what we know, for being an herbalist or a doctor or a teacher or a human who had skills or a healer. We lost our life. We have a soul imprint. Talk about trauma. We all have a soul imprint. One of the reasons we're blocked is that it's too painful and too traumatic when we remember those lifetimes. I've been assured that we won't lose our life over that this time. That this time our skills are going to be celebrated and needed now. I'm waking up light leaders all around the world because of this, because we are needed now. It only takes a little bit of support. I work with people all the time. I call it wing fluffing. I just added, I've rebooted ever since I got kicked out of the desert. No one kicked me out. I left the desert. But ever since I got out of my comfort zone, now I finally officially do wing fluffing. I even created a service on my website, which is released today, called the Wing Fluff. What's the wing fluff? Everyone, I want you to, and this is good for your intuition. I'm going to do a group wing fluffing. All right, so I want you to plant your feet on the ground, on the floor, and sit up straight. Okay, chest out, shoulders back. Those are your angel wings. Your scapular, another name for your scapular is wings. They're your angel wings. Bring your shoulders back. Good. And then just breathe. Now, I want you to imagine right now that you have two angels right behind you, and these angels really love you, and they're very busy working, taking out the feathers that are on those wings, those invisible feathers that have been tarred and feathered. That's what it means. Oil, grease, grime, other people's nastiness have been on your feathers. So these angels are just cleaning those feathers for you and just start bringing your wings back. And when you stand like that, you start to bring in that. I want everyone to stand up, okay? When I started painting angels, I started taking people on how to feel the presence of this. This is all intuitive, guys. But bring your shoulders back. Feel, literally imagine two beautiful angelic beings, and they're starting to bring your feathers back. Bringing them back to life. Removing dirt and grime, thousands of years of other people's crap on those wings. And when you start to remove your shame and you bring your shoulders back, you can go into any place and feel good. You can practice this by going into Starbucks or going downstairs, and you do this. And so even if people are weird around you, the energy you carry will raise the calmness in that room and will shift that energy. Can you feel it in your body? Mm-hmm. Yes. And so that's that sense of, there's a book out there called Power versus Force. And in it, he says that if you raise that vibratory frequency to that of an avatar, you will literally raise the light frequency and positively impact thousands, even maybe hundreds of thousands of people. Now that's very powerful. As we raise our energy right here from this very room, from this vortex, we can be connecting in a way that we're so powerful that thousands of souls, not just here at the Expo, but around this area, are being activated and woken up. That's how powerful we are. On the other side of the coin, you can sit down now. I think this is called kinesthetic. I wanted you to have a feeling in your body of what it feels like. To really feel that power within you. And my whole intention today is to have you love yourself. Have you get how powerful you really are, and finally start to use these gifts on behalf of yourself and the rest of us, because we're all in this together. That's why they say to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose. All those people who are doing great things and you sit there and go, God, I wish I could do that. The only difference between you and them is what? They're doing it. And so when you're kicking yourself and going, well, look at that, I could do that better, I say, why not try? You could do it better, do it. Absolutely, do it. It's in learning to say the yes. So remember I started the whole talk and I told you when I almost said no to the angels, 33 angels in 30 days, and I was like about to say no, but then I remembered that I had blown it, I can't even tell you the lifetimes I turned out I said no. So my motto is to say yes. Yes, I can do it. Yes, 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 practice. Yes, yes, yes. So when Spirit talks to us, let's say yes. Let's start to go, First of all, I'm going to tell you, most of those people who told you what to do weren't right anyway. I can tell you a long list of when I listened to other people, how did that turn out for me? It turned out pretty bad. Because they don't know what you really need. They only know what they think you need. You don't really want what they think you should have, because what's more important is you getting what it is you and your soul are in alignment for. And those hunches are here to tell you exactly what direction we have. I hear so many people say to me, well, Joan, if only they would tell me exactly what they want from me, right? My guide should say, you should be a chef. And it should be really clear so I make no mistake. But unbeknownst to you, of course, they leave you a few recipes here and there. They lead you to a delicious restaurant. Maybe someone says to you, you're a great cook. I don't know what signs there are happening. Or maybe a cooking school ad shows up. But those may be signs that hunch might be a good idea. What do you think? All right, any questions about anything that I've said? Yeah.
Were you a painter or an artist before you received that message?
No. I mean, I had done a few paintings, but I can't say, I was self-taught, and no. It was mostly, I didn't even think of myself as a real artist till after that. And I could paint upside down, inside out. And because I got the messages, and I just closed my eyes and painted and trusted. And some of them but I will tell you this, I judged my art. I thought it was the most primitive art I'd ever seen. And then I hid some of the art, because in my own judgment, it was so one of my friends who was an artist said, oh, you do primitive art. I'm not immune to some of these, I couldn't, I was too ashamed of my art to even bring it out. Now, here's the thing about my art. I have a new collection of art. I'm finally re-releasing my art and my new art. And how can you see it? I have a friend who has some at the booth. My Joan of Angels website might have some already, but I am redoing my art. So if you're interested in my art, I'm also going to be doing a show on art. So I have a YouTube channel. Guess what the name is? You can always find me under. And you will not have to ask, are you the right Joan of Angels? But I do my YouTube show once a week. I do Miracle Monday. I hope I can do it this Monday, just because I introduce speakers. But every Monday on YouTube, 5 p.m. Pacific, I do Miracle Monday. It's a very interesting show, and I'm growing that show. But why I call it miracles, because we're doing this miracle of coming together, and it's always about raising your frequency. And I've never had anyone say they felt worse after the show, just so you know. Yeah, I know it's a good show because of that. No, I know it's a great show. But I also have other shows. I have a show with Alan, I have a great show with Alan, which is really fun. All right, Clairsent. Now this one, someone talked here about the sense of smell. Sense of smell is amazing. My sister has the sense of smell. When my mother shows up, my mother used to wear strong perfume, a Shalimar, which you can't miss the smell of. And my sister will get a whiff of Shalimar. And one day, my sister, my son, and I were talking about my mom. It was the anniversary of her death. And I suddenly smelled Shalimar. And so I had never, but that's not my gift. So my sister must have brought that energy to me. We can smell places. This is a wonderful gift. Some people remember and smell their childhood. or go to places that remind you. And smell is really good if you're seeking lost things. This one, again, we're talking, I don't even know if you can read it. Clear sense of smell, the gift to really understand through that sense of taste and smell. This one is a great gift. I'd love to have it, of holding something in your hand and feeling the resonance and the energy of it. We can use crystals to stimulate. And are you an empath? So just for the video for tomorrow too, this is a great gift. Telekinesis. I'm interested, my next level is learning spoon bending and starting to move things with telekinesis.
Spoon doesn't exist.
Well, right. And we all don't exist. Okay. And look, you know,
Here at the Expo.
what was that?
There's a lecture here at the Expo on that.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up. Okay. So that's what I want to say. I think I'm going to get all through here and take you to this. You'll have to come back to my classes again to hear more. Wow, it's a long presentation. All right. So when you free your brilliance, what's the result? Vitality, self-confidence. You too will be able to walk in a room and say, I'm an angelic, powerful being. I trust myself and I trust my intuition. I do wing fluffing, spiritual advisor. I counsel people. I'm a mentor. I've had 40 some odd years of helping people step into their brilliance. So come talk to me if that interests you. I'm happy you were here. Go to joanofangels.com, and I have a lot of new things coming up.
Thank you for fluffing us up.
Whew. Yes, who are you? And you're so tall. Are you together? Yes. You're tall too.
Thank you so much. That was really good.
Sweet. Would you check me out? joanofangels.com.
I'm gonna follow you on YouTube.
Oh, please do. Please do.
This is just like, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how helpful this is.
Really? I'm going to give you my card. How's that? Also, did you get the flyers?
No, we came in late.
I bet there's flyers, and I brought in a whole bunch. Do you know if there's flyers?
They've been handed out. There's no more.
So I do private sessions, I do art for people. Yeah. Yes, you can. Who wants a card?
I want to.
Take one. Okay.
I can look you up, and I would like to crown you because I love you so much.
Bless you, John. Bless you.
Can I keep this crown?
Yes, you can, because I kept getting give her the crown, give her the crown. And you said to listen to my intuition, so I'm
Well,
listening.
I recently said I need a crown.
Yeah. Oh, really? I did not hear that part.
You have to put it on.
I recently said I need a
Oh
crown.
my God, I did not hear that part, but I'm so glad I listened to my intuition because you said to listen to your intuition.
Well, I really actually said out loud, I need a crown. I can't do Miracle Monday anymore without my crown. So get a good picture. Thank you.
Can you please say one of my? I'm glad I listened to my intuition because I don't do well listening.
Sweet, sweet guys, I want to come out and talk to you all. I know that there's someone else that's going to come in the room, so. Okay.
Then the ear.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I kept getting given
I need a crown.
crazy.
I think I have to fit it to my head.
No, it's perfect. I just had to keep moving it around a little bit, and it will sit perfect. You know what? There's no hurt. It sits perfect.
Put like a bobby pin through it to
I
hold
love
it
it.
to like
I love
seal
it.
it.
Yeah, I want to get a shot.
Yes, give her your phone. Give her your phone.
She said she'll airdrop. I'll airdrop.
Oh. modern technology.
And then as I.
Oh, yeah. Do you want with the, heart?
That's fine. We have 1, 2.
That was great. That was
He's gonna ask that.
Nancy. You're welcome. I will hook you up. So Miracle Monday, I don't know. I know maybe.
Monday, 5 p.m.
I'm gonna watch you on YouTube and I'm going to watch you spread that count, right?
Yes, yes. And guys, you can come to the conference in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
I'm Stacy. This is my son, Sal. Oh, really? Okay.
Go to setting, general, go to general.
You're still registered.
Forever. No, Nancy. Did you accept? You know what, I haven't. Sorry. Right, no, there it is.
Cruise and we're on the ship. Is that on the tip as well? Okay, yeah. I wrote down Miracle Mondays, but that's Friday, what time?
Fridays at 10 a.m.
Awesome. Okay. So normally that would be like this morning, but you guys. Will see. Okay.
I did a show on
All right,
Thursday,
thank
Monday,
you.
Friday, so you didn't say,
All right.
To me, it's very literal. Or I'll send out the board.
Cambodian.
Cambodian, oh. And then the most reactive. I also talked about having, journal organizations. That,
I got one. Yeah, thank you
yeah,
so
so
much.
when I listen, I'm like, that one is the key.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Joan, do you have a table outside?
Thank you so much.
I don't have a table.
Okay, but we will find you online, we got all of your
Yeah,
information.
I have some art at my friend's table.
Okay, what's your friend's
My
name?
table called Fearless and Free.
Okay.
And then the wall, if you go into the international, which is on the left.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
She does have some art. I'm actually introducing a speaker.
Hey, I just thought I'd say hi to you. Nice to see you in person, in the physical.
one thing I've learned is that it is our consciousness that is the most powerful thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did also go on that website for the Guardians.
Looking Glass Guardians of the Looking Glass.
Guardians, and they haven't disappeared.
No, they disappeared. They were I think they were safe. Okay. They were demolished. But it was okay. They dropped in for a while. They gave us some very interesting pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we, over the course of those months, nice, interesting palette of useful information came together.
I think so.
We put that out there, we put it in context of consciousness, we put it in context of timeline. Most importantly, we put it in terms of making it understandable that people have a choice to make about where we want to go collectively in the world, and we can influence it.
Right, we have an influence on time, so here's what I'm gonna say, I'll try to be in both your talks, which is huge, because I have a lot of things here. But, when we get back, I'll reach out to you,
Yes.
and maybe we can do another download about it.
That would be great, let's do that.
All right, oh my God, I'm so glad. It's a big hug, guys.
Thanks.
All right, I appreciate you being down here.
Just, you know, I saw that you were on the program and you were walking down the road. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Joan, right?
So, do you have this card, like, I want your contact information, because I would like to, you know, do a real interview with you out here. And then I ended up watching some of your videos. It was so funny, I watched it was great. Oh, yeah, thank you, the one to Mars.
Thank you, Mars, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
And then what
Tanya,
crazy one in the movie.
she was the blonde, the hitchhiker in the film.
Oh, you're the producer.
She's the producer, the hitchhiker, you know, the two of us were.
You were the hitchhiker.
Yes, we were the slowly older in that.
I thought that was, okay, so I did say, yeah, there's that hitchhiker, now she's filming him, and she's the film crew. Right? She had to have known it ahead of time.
And she didn't. I picked her up literally on the set. It's a true story.
Yeah.
But I figured, you know, we should make it creative.